Chris, what should the Giants do with the number 2 overall pick?
Well, there's two ways. I mean, to me, okay, I mean, you look at it like this, okay? If they have a quarterback that's on their board that is okay, they have him with a grade next to him that says he's a franchise quarterback that can be, multiple Pro Bowls and a handful of all-pro teams or whatever, then you draft that quarterback at number 2. If that guy falls to you, and if there's 2 of them, let's say if it's Darnold and Allen, then you take him. It's for the better good of the organization for the next 10 to 12 years. But if you're waffling on that and you're not sold on either one of those guys or whoever falls to you at 2, don't just take a quarterback because you want to take a quarterback and you're the number 2 pick. Then from there, I would go Saquon Barkley because Saquon Barkley is special. He is the best player in the draft. And if you're going, okay, now we didn't get our quarterback, well, obviously we're going with Eli Manning then for another year or 2. So go all in with Eli, get him Saquon Barkley, him with Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Ingram, Sterling Shepard, and that defense that we already know has a lot of talent on it. I just think that sets them up to be a legit playoff / Super Bowl contender next year right away. Because Barkley's the type of talent, Dan, in my opinion, that he can be in the conversation for the best offensive player in the sport next year.
When did we turn on running backs? When did we get nervous about drafting them?
Yeah, that is a really good – I'm going to say it was towards the late 90s, early 2000s is when it started to change a little bit. Because we got to see some other guys, the Priest Holmes of the world, these other people that weren't necessarily top picks in the draft were coming into the NFL and tearing it up and kicking butt. And I think that's when Belichick, some of these other coaches realized, wow, there's a lot of guys, running backs, growing on trees. And we've seen Alvin Kamara and what he could do, and Kareem Hunt, who led the NFL in rushing as a third-round pick. And the year before that, Jordan Howard was second in the NFL in rushing, and he was a fourth-round pick. And you got Alfred Morris, right, with the Redskins. He was a sixth-round pick. He was in the top 5 in rushing 2 times. So I think that's where the devalue of the running back came about. But Barkley is a special running back. He is a face of the franchise, old school type running back for me, Dan. Like that $1 million smile, unbelievable skill set, like Walter Payton, Bo Jackson, Tony Dorsett, face of the franchise type running back, and he's special.
I know that we look at paying, you want to get your quarterback there. If you can get a franchise quarterback and you get him for, that rookie salary and contract, then you can build around him. That's what Seattle did. The window of opportunity is closed on Seattle. Everybody else is sort of looking, can we get that guy? And we got him under contract for the next 5 years with favorable numbers.
Right.
And that's why I think everybody wants to go all in and try to, they think that these guys are franchise quarterbacks. But let's look at the odds, though, Chris. How many of these quarterbacks would you say in 10 years from now are still playing? They're starters?
Yeah, they're starters. I mean, really, realistically, it'll be 2 or 3 of the group. I would say that just to play the numbers from that. Now they all have interesting things, but I would say 2 or 3.
Best quarterback is
the best one for me is Josh Allen. He is the one to me that, of course, him and Lamar Jackson have the highest ceiling, and I think and Josh Allen, I think he's got. Other than Josh Rosen, I think he has the highest floor, too. I'll say this, Dan. Listen, he has special elite traits, right? And the first round is about people who can do elite things. Well, Allen has elite size, elite athleticism for that size, and, of course, the elite arm strength. And I know everybody's going to talk about, the completion percentage. Well, I've watched all these guys. I mean, guys like Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield, they get to throw 10 passes a game behind the line of scrimmage, and they go 10 for 10. And you can watch 10 games of Josh Allen and not see 10 screens total. I mean, so right there, that's 10 percentage completion points, not to add to the fact that he had no receivers, no offensive line, and he played in Wyoming where it was like 20 degrees and 40-mile-per-hour winds every game. So that's not necessarily going to help your completion percentage too. But Josh Allen is the guy for me, guys.
Okay, I got to go back to something you said.
Yeah.
The highest floor.
Right.
What is that? I've heard the highest ceiling, but now we just I raise the roof, you raise the floor. So explain that to me. Is that the least downsize, that you've raised the floor so he's not going to the basement?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly right. Yeah. I have a hard time believing Josh Allen, who has the highest Wonderlic score out of all these guys, was in a pro offense and then has all this skill set. And we've seen improvements to his mechanics already in the combine and his pro day, to where, I say the floor, the bust potential's not there. Same with Josh Rosen. Like Josh Rosen, I don't look at it and go, oh, he's going to totally blow up. If anything happens with Josh Rosen, it might just be injury related, but he's a good decision maker. He's an unbelievable thrower of the football. He's accurate. He's got timing. He's good in the pocket, all those things. So that's why I say those two guys have the highest floor for me.
Highest floor. That's a new one.
Right. Good. I'm glad I gave you something new today.
Okay, here's the final question for Chris Sims on loan from Pro Football Talk. If I go back in the 2016 NFL draft,
right,
and you can take Goff, Wentz, Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Ramsey. Now, I can remove Goff and Wentz from this and just say you got the third pick overall. How's that? You got the third pick. You want to go Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Ramsey.
Oof. That is a great question. Okay, so Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, and Jalen, they are phenomenal. I mean, these are Hall of Fame potential type guys we're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
I know. I'm talking it out, so I haven't figured it out yet.
Their floor is high.
Their floor is really high. Their floor almost is, it's at ceiling level. I mean, Jalen Ramsey's the best cornerback in football. I think if I had to pick one, I would probably go Joey Bosa.
Wow.
That's really tough to say, but looking at it, and I'm taking it just all into account with Ezekiel Elliott off the field, okay, his hard running style, all the car crashes he gets. Jalen Ramsey's phenomenal. I mean, I have a man crush on him. But I think Joey Bosa, when I look at it, the position he plays, the value at that position, how good he is, and then the way his body is set up for me to be really good at that position for a long, long time, and having a little position versatility, I think I would go Bosa. But, man, that's a tough one.
Stop in the studio sometime here. We'd love to have you have a home visit.
Well, let me know. Invite me up. I'll be up there in a few weeks. It's that time of the month for me to come up and visit, so just let me know.
Your nickname is the dispenser.
I like it. That fits me well.
Thank you, bud.
See you, buddy. Be good, guys.
Chris Sims, NBC Sports, Pro Football Talk.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.